What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Lonely Lone, and I'm back with another Storytime Friday. Today, on the sake of what's going on in the State of Union with the protests, not riots. They trying to brainwash me. It's so crazy. We're going to do a story time about how I first got profiled in Maryland. Yes, it happens in Maryland. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Let's go.
Alone.
So if y'all don't know, I'm from Prince George's County, PG County to be exact, in the DMV area. It's a suburb outside of Washington, D.C. for all my viewers outside of the DMV area. If you don't know what DMV stands for, DC, Maryland, Virginia. If you don't know, now you know. And you should know by now if y'all listen to Wale and Nino Paved and all these magnificent people that came out from the area. So, grew up in PG County, went to private schools up until my high school years, where my mom, she moved out, got married, she moved out of PG County and moved up to Montgomery County, in a majority white area. So if you know anything about Prince George's, it's a predominantly black, middle class, upper middle class county. Very prominent for what it does, but it still has its issues because anything that's all black, you will get disenfranchised. All right, so I was a part of one of the poorest areas in PG County. I'm from the Adelphi Langley Park, West Hyattsville area. So if y'all know anything about, you know, Chillum, Langley Park, Delphi, Ridgecrest, PG Plaza, basically. That's all you need to know. Alright, that's where I grew up. So coming from a black and brown, predominantly all black and brown, you might see one or two white people walking in the neighborhood that lived there since the 50s that might come out every blue moon to walk their dog. You feel me? Other than that, you ain't seen a lot of white people, just being honest. But it wasn't a culture shock to me because I told you I went to private school. So I'm used to being around white people. I'm used to engaging with white people. But you know, I spent most of my times in my neighborhood and in DC. Because whether it be family that lived in DC at the time, or because my home church was in DC, I spent a lot of time with black people, you know, when I come home from school and on the weekend. So, here nor there, when we moved, I was pretty accustomed, you know, to white people. But, you know, I still kind of am naive because I am from PG County, you know what I'm saying? I, you know, was in DC roaming around all the time, which was Chocolate City back when I was growing up, you feel me? So, I'm like, oh, you know, the only white people I really knew about was, you know, feel me, was my private school, and there was some racist members in that joint, you feel me? So it's like, but it was a small percentage, you know. Other than that, if everybody was chill, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? You know, I had some ignorant, and I'll say ignorance to a certain extent, because I feel like if you grow up in a DMV, you know some things that you say that your parents would tell you, because for the most part, Maryland is progressive. The DMV area is progressive or left leaning, you know what I'm saying, if you know anything about politics. So they should have a view of between black and white and what you shouldn't say and what you should say. But that's here nor there. I'ma just give them the benefit of the doubt that they said some ignorant stuff like calling me ghetto or saying my accent was ghetto or ratchet, or my hair because I had braids. You know, a lot of ignorant stuff that these white kids say. But here nor there, that didn't change my perspective of white people in Maryland. Now, I did have grandparents that grew up in Jim Crow, so I did get insight of Southern white people, but I was smart enough to know we're considered a Southern state, but we're really a border state. Shout out to Maryland history and geography. So we're not technically have the views of the South because we were a border state. So anyway, my point is this: I didn't think white people in Maryland were racist. overall, right? So when I moved to Montgomery County, predominantly white. Growing up, Montgomery County, it's predominantly white, and predominantly liberal. You feel me? So I ain't had no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? It was boring as hell. You feel me? Definitely boring as hell. You could barely transport to anywhere else. But once I got up there, it was predominantly white. But I didn't feel uncomfortable or out of place, when I went to school up there. So once I started getting some friends and stuff, we started hanging out like any other regular kid in a neighborhood hangs out at the town center. You go downtown or you go to the local shopping area, because you can't really do much. You're 15, 16 years old. So I had black friends that lived there and grew up there, because it wasn't just all white. It's black people that live in that part of Upper Montgomery County. So we would go hang out because that's where they hung out. So I would go with them because I didn't know the area. We would go down, to the shopping center and hang out. And there's like a fancy little luxury steakhouse down there. And that's where white people go after work to have cocktails and get their prime rib and New York ribeye, and you know what I'm saying? So you would think that it would be annoying. I get it. It would be annoying to have little kids hanging out in the town center laughing and making jokes. But mind you, there was white kids multiple times that would go down there and do the same thing we did. Laugh, joke around, be a little bit of a disturbance, right? But on this particular day, we said, you know what? Let's all go down there. So it was a whole bunch of us, all right? I would say like 10 of us. We come down, 10 black kids, come down to the village center, go to Panera Bread, go to Subway, get something to eat. Then we would hang out in the front, Baskin Robbins, whatever. So we hang out in the front. It didn't take 5 minutes. Mind you, the steakhouse is right next to all this stuff. So it didn't take nothing but 5 to 10 minutes. I promise you. All of a sudden, 5 police cars roll up to the roundabout right where we are. So we looking around like, dang, somebody go down. What? Oh, shoot. We looking around, we see nothing. A tumbleweed can go past us. Ain't no commotion, no action, nobody getting beat up, nobody getting jumped, nobody having a seizure, nobody passing out, nothing. No signs of nothing going on. We like, dang, why are they here? Is it a gas leak? What's going on? They get out the car, stand in front of the car they look like undercover cops. They look like, some of them had regular clothes, some of them had their full uniform, but all of them had the bulletproof vest with the baton right here, a gun right here, and they got out, walked around their car, the cruiser, police cruiser, stood on the side, and folded their arms like this in front of us. All 10 black kids staring like this. So now we know what's up. We're black. We're black. So now we looking around like, oh, so y'all racist as shit. And one of my men said out front, oh, y'all here for us. Y'all on some funny time. They say nothing. We say, so what's the disturbance? Why y'all here? Why y'all just posted up? Like, what is this for? They say nothing. So now, they're there for intimidation. So somebody made a phone call. Somebody probably knows the sheriff of that white town that I was living in at the time. And came and said, hey, there's a whole bunch of black kids hanging out front. They ain't doing nothing, but I want you to come down there and put some eyes on them to make sure they don't do nothing while we down here enjoying our time. That's basically what happened. Somebody put a call in to regulate us, which to this day it just makes my brain sizzle that somebody could just get away with that and just can call the like anytime you call the cops and it's a non-emergency, isn't that a fine, or don't you get in trouble? That's how I knew it had to be somebody that was either a off-duty cop or a wife of a cop or a family member of a cop, or they knew the cop. Cause anytime it wasn't small. It was basically a small white town in Montgomery County. But anytime it was like something like that, where it's very intimate, they usually probably had them on speed dial for people like us. Just being honest. And my friend was very anti-cops. He didn't want to know you around no cops. He hated cops. He hated the feeling of being around cops. He steps off. He don't waste time. That's why he was always the smartest one. That's why he never got in trouble. And we did. Because he stepped off early. All the time. He stepped off. The first one to step off. Everybody else was like, kind of like, you know, and not antagonizing, but they was like, basically like, it's messed up. It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's the right word. Fucked up. It's fucked up. And, you know, they still standing there. Nothing. No, not touching anybody. Not saying a word. And then I followed, you know, a minute later after my friend. Because I was with him. I was at his crib. Followed him. Then, you know, eventually everybody started trickling out, leaving. Right? And it was only white people there now. When I tell you, one person, we stayed at the bottom of, because we had to go down the steps, because there was like the shops, the restaurants, then there's like a little stairway that you walk down, right? You walk down, and it's like, once you walk down, two flights of steps. Once you get down to the bottom, it's you know, you're not visible to see anybody's head. So one of the friends said, you know what, let's hang back and see what happens. So he comes up the second flight, like the bottom flight step, and he was tall enough to like peek his head over to see the top step, to see if they were there. They were gone. They were gone. Bro, he comes back down. He says, bro, look at this, bro. So we go back up for a minute. All the cops gone, bro. Boy, when I tell you that shit hurt. I'm from PG County, bro. We had white cops, bro. They grew up in PG too. They would come to our neighborhood and give us lessons. Like, I would say that for another story time. But basically, bro, we had a good relationship with the white cops in our neighborhood, bro. And that's not always true. PG used to be racist. PG used to be white in the 70s and 80s, early 80s. So that wasn't always true. But when I was growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, in the mid 2010s, early 2010s, bro, PG was black. And even if there was white people still living there, they was cool. They wasn't racist. They wasn't like, bro, the cops was not on that. So you gotta think, in my mind, I'm like, yo, this is stuff my grandparents talked about in the South, the dirty South, the treacherous Jim Crow South. And I experienced it in Maryland, bro. That blew my mind. I ain't gonna lie. I don't use traumatized. I don't use that word lightly. But that definitely was ingrained in my mind. So anytime I go back over there to visit, I do feel a little bit like eerie going in that same area because of that, bro. Like, if they wanted to shoot us or if they wanted to do something, they could have did something and got away with it, bro. That's the scary part. Them cops literally stood in front of us like bodyguards. Like, they was like, not even bodyguards, bro. They was like a gang. It was like a gang, like intimidation ritual or something. Like, you need to know your place here, boy. Like, that's what it felt like. And I'll never forget when I got home. I don't even think I told my mom, but I'll never forget, like, when I got home, bro, like, I don't think I ever went back down there in that manner, like, with all them people like that again. Like, I don't even think I went down there to hang out again like that. I think I went to another area. Like, bro, that joint scared the mess out of me, bro. I didn't know Montgomery County was on that, bro. That opened my eyes so much, bro. To just the world, to never put nothing past anybody, no matter where you are. You could be the most liberal state and you could be a victim of racism or profiling, discrimination, prejudices. And it happened to me in the 2010s. the 2010s in Maryland that was fully Democratic. So that's just cause to show you, bro, that it's a mentality that America has. It's not just, oh, I'm Democratic, so I'm progressive, I'm liberal, I'm left. No. There's people that still think that you're under them, even with that title. And I think I had to say this because of the state of the union right now, what's going on with our Latino brothers, what's going on, it's just in the world in general with prejudices and discriminations between ethnicities and race. It is treacherous. You really can't trust anybody. Be skeptical of everybody and plan accordingly. Move accordingly. Hey man, that was it for this story time. Be true to yourself. Love yourself. And I will see you on the next one. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that bell for the next time I drop. Because you know I'm back in business. I took a little hiatus because of what's going on family-wise, but I am back. Love y'all. I will see you on the next one. Peace.